The chandeliers inside the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion glistened as Hollywood's elite gathered for the 44th Academy Awards. It was April 10, 1972, and the biggest stars in the world had taken their seats: Marlon Brando, Audrey Hepburn, Jack Nicholson. But that night, there was one name on everyone's lips, a name that had been absent from Hollywood for more than 2 decades. Charlie Chaplin. Once he had been the most famous face on earth. The little tramp with his bowler hat, cane and that funny little walk had made the whole world laugh and cry without ever speaking a word. He was cinema itself, but by the late 1940s, Chaplin's outspoken political views, his refusal to conform, and accusations during the Red Scare led to his exile from the United States. His re-entry visa was revoked. For 20 years, America turned its back on its brightest star. Now, at 82 years old, he was back. The Academy had decided to honor him with a Lifetime Achievement Award, but many in the room wondered, would he even show up? Chaplin had been bitter about his treatment, and no one would have blamed him for staying away. Yet that night, when presenter Jack Lemmon announced his name, the cameras cut to the aisle, and there he was. A frail old man walking slowly, supported by his wife Una. His hair, once dark, was snow white now. His hands shook slightly as he steadied himself. But the moment the crowd saw him, the auditorium erupted. The ovation began like a wave, rolling from the front rows to the back. People shot to their feet instantly, clapping, whistling, cheering. Some shouted bravo. Others just stood, tears already spilling down their faces. Charlie paused, overwhelmed. For 2 decades he had been a ghost in America, unspoken of, forgotten by many. But in that thunder of applause he was reborn. His eyes widened. His lips trembled into the faintest of smiles. 1 minute passed, then 2. The clapping didn't stop. People weren't just honoring a man, they were apologizing, making amends for the years of silence. Audrey Hepburn, elegant as always, had tears streaming down her face. Directors who owed their careers to Chaplin were clapping until their hands turned red. Actors who had never even met him wept like children. 3 minutes, 4, 5. Still no one sat down. The orchestra, which usually played to cut applause short, stayed silent. This wasn't a moment to rush. This was history being rewritten in real time. By the 6th minute, Chaplin had sat down, too overcome to keep standing. But even then the applause thundered on, echoing through the hall, a collective roar of gratitude and forgiveness. Chaplin dabbed his eyes with a handkerchief. He looked small, fragile even, but in that ocean of love he seemed larger than life once more. Finally, after 12 long minutes, the longest standing ovation in Oscar history, the room slowly quieted. Jack Lemmon, visibly moved, presented the statuette and simply said, "Words are so futile, thank you for the laughter." Chaplin took the Oscar in his hands, the gold reflecting in his moist eyes. He leaned toward the microphone, his voice soft, shaky, but clear enough for the world to hear. "Thank you very much. This is a very emotional moment for me. Words are so futile and so feeble. I can only say thank you for the honor of inviting me here. You are wonderful, sweet people." His speech lasted less than 30 seconds, but it didn't matter. The real speech had been the ovation. That night the world witnessed something extraordinary, not just the honoring of an artist but the redemption of a man. The boy who had once been abandoned on the streets of London, who had clawed his way from poverty to become the face of silent cinema, had been cast out in disgrace. But in that one night in 1972, the world embraced him again. The ovation wasn't just applause, it was history's apology. When Chaplin left the stage, clutching his Oscar to his chest, even the toughest Hollywood veterans were in tears. Critics would later write that it was the most emotional moment in Academy Awards history, a moment when the past was forgiven, when an old man was given back the dignity he deserved. 5 years later, Charlie Chaplin passed away in Switzerland. But for millions, the memory of that night, the frail genius, the thunder of applause, the longest ovation in Oscar history, remains one of the most unforgettable moments in entertainment. Because sometimes the greatest performances don't happen on screen. They happen in real life, when the world finally remembers to say thank you.